Hello everybody, dear English-speaking followers, friends and clients, astrology lovers, my faithful followers, as well as new visitors of my channel. My name is Olga Vasilchuk, and I would like to present you today a video about the retrograde phase of Uranus in Taurus that will last from August 7th, 2018 until January 6th, 2019. My friends, before to start talking about the subject of the video, I would like to remind you that the first lesson of the courses of the astrology school, of the course NATAL Astrology, is accessible. Send me the private message if you want to watch it for a symbolic price. I also would like to just underline something, just to explain that there is the plan of 4 modules that contain 60 lessons, and the material, the content of the program is already here. I just need time to record lesson by lesson, okay? And as soon as each new lesson is recorded and downloaded, you will be able to buy it, to watch it. You will be able to, you will have the free choice to buy the lessons that you're interested in. You're not obliged to buy all the lessons or all the modules, but I need time to record at least the lessons of the first module, so we'll have a choice, okay, of the lesson that you're interested in. So for the moment, the temporary formula is the private link that I am sending to you after the payment, and in the closest future all the videos will be uploaded to my website, and you will be able to see the entire list and to choose the one you like more or you prefer to discover, for example. So if you're interested in the first lesson, please send me a personal message and I will respond to you as soon as possible. Or if you want to know, for example, a detailed program of the entire course of the 4 modules and of the 60 lessons. Now let's talk about our Uranus. Since I didn't make the video about the ingression of Uranus in Taurus, I will focus in the first half of this presentation on the symbolism of the planet, and I will mention the position of Uranus in Taurus, in Aries and in Taurus, some advices about the retrograde phase of Uranus. But in the beginning, let's talk about the planet, which is the ruler of Aquarius, which is my solar sign, my sun sign, of my ascendant. That's why I adore this planet, because its energies, of course, are very familiar to me, and I'm a typical Aquarius sun, rising Aquarius. So the planet was discovered in 1781, when humanity entered the era of struggle for independence, for the dynamic development of science, and for technological progress. The symbol of Uranus is the inverted and winged sign of Venus. Venus, reversed, inverted Venus with the wings. The transit cycle of Uranus around the ecliptic is 84 years, and among the slow planets, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Uranus has the greatest resemblance with natural human rhythms. This number, 84 years, corresponds to the lifespan of a modern man in developed countries. Uranus changes sign every 7 years, and the retrograde movement lasts 5 months every 12 months. So almost the half of the year Uranus is retrograde. Uranus embodies unexpected and destructive misfortunes and miracles at the same time. The process of spiritual awakening, the level of existence that surpasses the laws of cause and effect, revolution and disaster. The motivation of the planet is change, break down the structure, regardless of individual experience and individual emotions. The energy of the planet manifests itself through sudden, unexpected events, through the non-conventional and often destructive. This is like the brightness of light. In terms of psychology, we can say that Uranus is the unexpected explosion of creative inspiration, the experience that pushes us to reconsider our beliefs and vision of the world. Associations, images, inventors, revolutionaries, carriers of change, scientists, and those who aspire to change and disrupt our ideas about reality. And in terms of health, Uranus symbolizes accidents, a threat to physical integrity. My friends, last year, in December 2017, before the ingression of Saturn in Capricorn, I made a video about the ingression of Saturn in Capricorn. You can watch this video if you're not familiar with. I spoke in this video about the stage of human evolution in the world controlled by Saturn, where we are forced to follow his or its rules. The distant or slow planets, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, exist to help us to look beyond Saturn's illusions, to remind us that the universe is eternal and that we are also eternal beings as part of it, of the universe. Until we reach the level where we could master the energies of the slow planets, we dwell on the experience of interaction with Saturn. First, we must learn Saturn's lessons and master its energies. Uranus is the first of the slow planets, because we know that Jupiter and Saturn are social planets, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto are slow planets. And its only goal is to destroy the universe of Saturn. Saturn is the world egg, cosmic or mundane egg. You know this concept, right? Saturn is the physical universe that we can see, hear, feel, and touch. Uranus is a crack on the shell of this egg, the first and most often the most traumatic awareness that there is something bigger that we know about our universe. The energy of Uranus is a sort of a flash of lightning, most often with the devastating consequences. It is responsible for both accidents and miracles. And the experience that we live when we meet Uranus depends on the extent to which we cling to the illusions of Saturn. If you master its energies and if you respect its rules and instructions, then the earthquake that Uranus causes can offer us an experience that gives strength and freshness. It's like a breath, a sip of freedom. But if we cling to the ideas and beliefs that no longer serve us, if we succumb to Saturn's illusions, then the encounter with Uranus can be seen as the end of the world. In other words, Uranus tries to teach us to become aware of the attachment in our lives, especially because the following planets, Neptune and Pluto, do not forgive mistakes. It shows where we need to learn detachment, to be more flexible and ready for change. A very important task of Uranus is to lighten the burden of people's obligations related to survival, which is the symbolism of Saturn. Uranus brings humanity to a higher level of existence, the level free from the constant concern about ensuring a normal life. Besides that, Uranus acts at the level of the collective unconscious, symbolizing new advanced changes that await us. The personalities having strong Uranian energy in their chart are endowed with a rebellious spirit. They always follow their own path and neglect the schemas and the conformities of society. When more and more people begin to express a new idea, the resistance to that idea fails and it becomes a part of our collective consciousness. And most often the first step in which the new energy will meet resistance will be in ourselves. And the first energy of Saturn that will have to be transformed will be transformed inside of ourselves. And my friends, if we remember if you look back at the last century, Uranus was in Aries in the beginning of the last century from 1922 to 1935, and you remember that it was the time of the US market crisis of 1929, the Great Depression. The complete collapse of the economy led to a new approach to the manifestation of personality. This is the energy of Uranus in Aries. The Great Depression was a time of great opportunity for individuals ready to embark on a new revolutionary approach to the world. So Uranus in Aries has witnessed the rebirth of the spirit of pioneer, of discoverers of the United States. But along with the spirit of innovator, of researcher, we have also seen the manifestation of a ruthless approach to entrepreneurship and to the world as a whole, the approach every man for himself. And then Uranus entered Taurus, where it was from 1935 to 1942. The world was taking root and building a new secure and stable society. The major part of the United States was still suffering the consequences of the Great Depression, and the hard work seemed to be the best antidote to excesses and to the frivolities of the 20s. But this is the fast energy planet, right? It doesn't feel comfortable in a slow, stable, and heavy Taurus. So during this period, during the transition of Uranus by Taurus, the generation wanted to build a new stable structure of life, and at the same time felt the need to rebel against these structures. Now Uranus, as I said, entered Taurus on May 15th, 2018. So what can we expect during the next 7 years during the transit of Uranus by Taurus? We can expect serious changes in global financial policy and monetary structure. Significant update of the economic policies of many countries. We can see technical progress, serious investments in the field of cosmonautics. For example, could be the transport of goods by the way of space. Maybe we will land on Mars. We don't know. We will see. And there will be increased scientific interest in agriculture, environment protection, but also increase of genetically modified products, which will result in a gap between the cost and quality of natural products and those from synthetic production. The ingression of Uranus in Taurus will also put us before the fact of the collapse of the classical institution of marriage. We will observe a greater, bigger freedom in exchanges with others, tendency to emancipation, to the absence of commitment, even in traditional conservative societies and countries. Since Taurus is ruled by Venus, we're talking about the beauty industry which will be more progressive, using more technical devices during manipulations, during interventions. Progress in the treatment of scars and burns can be expected. The medicine will live a revolution. We'll call it a biomedicine, a new word. Taurus is also about money, right? So we will be looking for the place of the biggest gains. And in this sense, the information technology, IT industry, will remain one of the highest paid areas. Financial advisor, such a job as a financial advisor will not be a new profession, but the demand for this job will be growing. And Uranus will touch in Taurus. Uranus and Taurus will touch the world money. It will be more and more virtual. Cryptocurrency, of course. We talk about cryptocurrency, and money will be controlled. Its control will be more and more centralized. The next 7 years will be the time of the time of innovators in the field of entrepreneurship, the time of success of brilliant reformers in their professional environment. If you are ready to bring personal revolution in your professional activity, this will be the excellent 7 years for you, offering you this opportunity to achieve your goals and results in your professional environment. Now, a couple of dates. As I said, May 15 of this year, Uranus entered Taurus. On the 7th of August, Uranus gets retrograde in the second degree of Taurus. On November 6, 2018, Uranus will enter again in the previous sign of Aries. On January 6, 2019, Uranus will be direct in the 28th degree of Aries, and it will enter again on the 6th of March 2019 in Taurus. And in August of the next year, it will be again retrograde in Taurus. Now, what about its retrograde phase? When slow planets, actually, Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, I would also add here Mars, become retrograde. When they start the retrograde movement, they start going towards their position with the Sun, even if they will not form this opposition, but they will move backwards, so as if they were trying to approach their position with the Sun. The planet's opposition to the Sun is the symbolic full moon phase, the phase of the full moon in their common cycle, and an important transit period that deserves our attention. The Sun, which symbolizes the consciousness and individuality, and the principle of the planet that gets retrograde during this period, are thrown into the opposite poles in our mind. It is the culmination of the cycle of the planet and of the Sun, the culmination of the themes and situations of this cycle. It's a period of awareness of non-constructive approaches. It's a review and a definition of new approaches. This period is an opportunity to realize the reactions and the usual ways of implementing the principle of the planet that must be revised in order to remain adequate and effective. Now, what should we do during Uranus retrograde? Since it's not a personal planet, it's a slow planet, and its impact is manifested through major changes in the world order. It has rather impact on the society, on the region, on the specific country, on the generation, and on the entire world. Its personal impact on your chart, on your personal life, your personal situation, should be traced in another way. You have to consider Uranus, first of all, as a ruler of this or that house. You have to see the cusp of which house is situated in Aquarius, so Uranus will be the ruler of this house for you. And then you have to consider the house by which the transit Uranus moves. I'll give you an example. I'm Aquarius, rising Aquarius, so Uranus is the ruler of my ascendant. And Uranus will move now, is transiting and will be retrograde in my second house. So it means that thanks to my own efforts, since Uranus rules my ascendant, I will I will come up to changes of source of income, because the second house is a sector of money. So thanks to my own initiative, I will do something different from what I've been doing so far, and thanks to this activity, this new activity, I will make money. And I already started making money thanks to this new activity, the courses at the school. So the Uranus as the ruler of the house is the cause, the reason of change, and the transit of Uranus by the house of your chart shows where, in which sphere of life you will live changes. But still, general observations. During the retrograde phase of Uranus, we must remember that and understand that life around us can change suddenly, especially in the areas of Uranus: computers, equipments, unexpected events, injuries, events affecting friends, air travel. But once again, look rather the house where the Uranus is transiting in your chart. Nevertheless, during this retrograde phase of this planet, what should we not do? We should not engage in extreme sports. Don't relax and don't try to persuade yourself that this order of things will last forever. No, this will change. Do not count only on one line of behavior. Do not frantically work on one single project trying to save it at all costs. Carefully consider what you are going to destroy, because the result of this will be unexpected. So what is better to do? What is good to do? The retrograde phase of Uranus, it's the best time for self-expression, because this time will be a rich source of new ideas and experiences. Uranus retrograde evokes the necessity of destroying existing traditions, reinforces a person's desire to be different, to be unique and inimitable. Trust your intuition. Write down all the ideas that come to your mind, even if they seem crazy in the beginning. Be flexible. Create many alternative action plans. Move away from schemas and boxes. Show your creativity and try to change your life, because now time gives us energy and courage to do that. But once again, these changes will occur in the sphere of life that corresponds to the house of the chart where the transit Uranus is passing at this moment during the next 5 months. My friends, I wish to all of you good luck for the last week of the lunar months. The next video will be devoted to the solar eclipse in Leo on August 11th. Not easy moment, a couple of days before the new moon and the solar eclipse. If you have questions about the courses, the school, write me a personal message and I'll respond to you as soon as I can, as soon as possible. Have a wonderful week. Talk to you very, very soon. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.